Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing the color version of Evil in the Daleks. I've already reviewed the black and white version, so I wanted to talk about the color version now that I've had a chance to see it as well. Before I get started, there was one thing I forgot to mention in my first review, and that's how much I love the human factor Daleks. Oh, they're like little puppies. I absolutely love them. They do. They're just like children. I love at the beginning when they're playing with the doctor and spinning him around, and then they're playing train with him, and when he's giving them names, and they're Alpha, Beta, Omega. It's absolutely adorable. It's interesting, too, because I love the Dalek voices in this story. They're some of the best Dalek voices I've heard, and they're usually so sinister and so chilling. My voice is going on me. They're usually so sinister and so chilling. And it's amazing to me that with just that slight bit of change, they're so innocent and childlike and friendly. We must go back to Scarrow, friend. That's my name. The doctor gave it to me. I love that. You will obey. I will not obey. And I like when the doctor tells them to obey or whatever, and they're like, we will obey. But not without question. I love that. It's so neat, and just that it's such a slight change in the voice that completely takes it from ice cold sinister to friendly childlike. It's amazing what a little bit of difference that makes. And then when one Dalek gets killed and the other one kind of shoves on him with his suction cup, that's so cute. I just had to talk about that because I forgot to talk about that in my other review. I love the human factor Daleks. I just love them. Moving on to the story, though, I did like the color version in the 16:9. For the most part, I think I prefer the black and white version because I do like watching it with the existing episode, because I do think the existing episode 2 is better than the animated episode 2. Well, it's still good. And I like a couple things the animated 2 episode does, like when it does that nice pan around shot of the house and then that kind of neat shot of the lab the first time you walk into it. Still really good, just doesn't quite capture the nuance of Troughton and Jamie in a couple scenes. It's just done better originally than the animation can do, due to the limits of the animation. I do again like this animation. It's one of my favorite animations. I've already done a video ranking the animations. I think that should go out before this does, and it ranked really high on that list. The colors pop. They're very vibrant, very noticeable, very saturated, I guess. I'll never forget when I saw, I think it's Arthur, the one that's being mind controlled, when I saw his coat was red. I had never pictured it like that when I watched the black and white version. And so when I saw it just being that deep red, I was like, whoa, that's very red. I didn't realize that was so red. The color really works in places like when they're in candlelit areas, when they're walking in like secret passages and stuff, and you can see the candle giving off that orangish glow. That's a really neat effect that you don't really get as much with the black and white version. And really, the last episode and a half, it really is neat in color. Once they get on Scarrow, the way Scarrow looks with that reddish hue is beautiful. And kind of when you're inside, it has that bluish tint to it. Although I'm fine with the color or black and white when they're inside, but I love that reddish hue that Scarrow has on the outside, especially right at the end when the doctor's talking about, Victoria's father dying and how that's the end of the Daleks. Seeing it with that reddish hue to it, with all the little ash swirling around, looks really, really neat. I really like the details, like seeing the dust particles and stuff in places moving through the sunbeams, and seeing the ash going up as the Dalek city blows up. It's really, really neat, very detailed. It's very impressive animation. But I really did enjoy it. I think overall, I prefer the black and white version for like the first 5.5 episodes, and the color version for the last episode and a half. Pretty much all the way up until they go to Scarrow. I think I prefer the black and white version. And then once they get on Scarrow, I think I like the color version better. But I'm fine with both. Both are perfectly enjoyable. I'm sure I'll rewatch both in the future. Probably watch all of the animated for color, and then the surviving episode 2 with the black and white. You can't lose either way. It really is another one of those stories where you're getting basically 2 stories for the price of one, having it like this. So I did thoroughly enjoy it, and I really, really think this is kind of the bar now. I want every story we get from here on out to be at least this level of quality. and higher. Like, I do think Magrittera is still a little better, but this is a nice improvement on faceless ones, which I still thought was really good. So I kind of want this to be where we're at from now on. Like, Abominable needs to at least be this. So that's my thoughts on the color version. Which version do you like better, the black and white, the color? Are they about the same to you? Do you like both? Let me know down in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you guys. What do you think of the nice human factor Daleks? Aren't they awesome? Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you would like to contribute to that. There's a link to that down in the description below. For the entire month of October, all of my patrons at any tier level, including the entry level tier of only $2, will have access to any videos I am posting on my Patreon, which is usually just reserved for, you know, some of the higher tier levels, like the $10 tier, the $15 tier, etc., etc. But even the $2 tier and the $5 tiers can have access to whatever I'm posting. I should be doing a video series, probably of about 4 or 5 videos total, ranking the doctors from worst to best. That will be Patreon. That will be on my Patreon only. So if you something you'd like to see, just, you know, chip in for a month, give my Patreon a try, see what you think. If you have any questions about that, just let me know down in the comments below. Most importantly, thank you for watching.